For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za. iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. iDiskiTimes.co.za. Orlando Pirates going through to the next round of the culling knockout. Sometimes you get an opportunity, a second bite of the cherry, to right your wrongs. When your girlfriend accepts you again after you've cheated, you then are on probation to behave better. Orlando Pirates were knocked out in the same competition by Magesi. They played them again. The football gods somehow, when they were drawing the names from the hat, they took out Magesi, they took out Orlando Pirates, and they said, you guys are going to do it for the second time. And the second time around, Orlando Pirates were able to right that wrong. So congratulations to Orlando Pirates. Congratulations as well to the players. Muremi, beautiful goal to break the ice there as we were watching. And of course, Ungwana says Evidence Mahopa as well, adding his name to the hat. Lindo Pep, our analyst, what did you make of the game?
Sharp kunjani Mr. Nkewu?
Yes, sir.
Ngicela ukubulisa technical team.
Yes, sir.
Ngibulisa just. Mr. Nkewu, i-Orlando Pirates iceda i-game nga-4 midfielders. Kabelo Dlamini, Nemtajela, Tito Masonga, and Sipombule. Can I address a little bit the creative department of Orlando Pirates going into this season?
Sure.
To add into that creative department, Guno Rilem Fukeng, Guno Apolis. The creative department of Orlando Pirates this season is very crucial for them. You don't need to be babied going into this season. This is a huge season for them. Patrick Tito Maswangai, even after an incredible performance today, I believe he was one of the best players in terms of the creative department. They bring in Nemtajela, who's also part of that creative department. Those players can't sulk going into the season. They are playing against the Mamelodi Sundowns over the weekend, where they're going to have to fight in terms of midfield battle.
Yeah.
There's games of consequence that they're going to have to fight. Not every game is going to be the same. Sometimes they will need Umbata in that midfield, a player that can cover distance. Sometimes defending, Mr. Nkewu, you give players responsibilities. Sometimes there's players that can't defend a bigger space but can defend a shorter space. There's games like this where you don't need a 6. You just need the creative department. You need 3 midfielders that can control the game. Coach Wadu already tells you with the type of midfielders that he wants to play. The fact that Dancing, who's not a physical but a player who has ball retention, a passing game, and yes, the boy can improve a lot of things. But that creative department is very crucial for Pirates because maybe not all of them can start. Only 3 players can start. Maybe sometimes only 2 can start because you bring in Mbata into that space. Sure. They are not playing with the right winger. Last game in the CAF Champions League, they used Utito on the right-hand side as an extra midfielder because you can see they are trying to have all the time in the pitch 4 midfielders because Bazamuk overloaded. They are trying to keep
just
the ball.
On the point of creativity,
yeah.
I want to take you somewhere else. I keep on saying this to you guys in studio, that I think there's a valid argument to be made that Orlando Pirates are the best attacking team in the country. Of course, people, when they want to debunk you on social media, they're going to say, this one has 100 goals, this one has 85 goals. I'm not talking about that. I don't know who has more goals than others when you talk about Pirates and maybe Sundowns, or generally in the league or in South Africa this season. But as I look at them and we watch them every match, I think Orlando Pirates is the best attacking team. It's the most dangerous team this season.
And I think each and every single one of those players cannot sulk. And for me, this is a big thing.
Well, you have to. I'm taking you to the part where you're gonna agree or disagree slightly. What's your take? Do you think that they are the best attacking team?
They are the best attacking team, in my opinion. It's just that Mamelodi Sundowns is a system. What wins Mamelodi Sundowns football games is the system. Sometimes they don't play well, but the systems override sometimes the performance. And in Orlando Pirates, it's called Iwadu Ball. 90 slides. 90 Iwadu Ball, Mr. Nkewu. That 90 slides, say bona khona manje.
Generation 2000, social media.
Yeah, no. Yonke into mele benekama, Mr. Nkewu. 90 slides. But can I make my point and land quickly? For me, Orlando Pirates has a variation in midfield and in their attack. For me, in midfield, that creative department, they've got the best creative department in the league, in my opinion. Jobang Shilo, Mr. Nkewu. They've got players who retain the ball. They've got players who can manage the game. They've got players in terms of creativity, linking. They can create opportunity. They create the same opportunity every game. Their game has reference. But Jobang Shilo, Mr. Nkewu, because playing against Mamelodi Sundowns and competing against Mamelodi Sundowns, they've got so many games to play in the league.
Yeah.
And not all of those players will play each and every single game. And I like the fact that Abombule, they come in and they are not sulking.
Sorry. Chipezes is given man of the match there. You agree with that?
Deserves it. Well deserved. Even though I felt that Patrick Tito Maswangai, in my opinion, was exceptional for Orlando Pirates. We're talking about Umremi, who was sharp. The goal that he scored outside the box offered the Orlando Pirates a lot of depth from the wider areas, because he's the one that ongadlali half winger. He gives the Pirates depth by always occupying the wider area, dangerous in running in behind.
He's made a lot of money from
For
this
sure.
tournament, Uchipes.
600,000.
It's a lot of money that he's made. He can build himself a village in Zimbabwe.
He's made 600,000.
If he wants to go back to Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Or he can build himself a mansion here in South Africa as well. Right, back to the game.
Yeah.
What did Pirates get right? And also we'll have to look at Magesi as well.
I think Mr. Nkeu, it's the depth that they have in their squad. I believe that Apolis, Mr. Nkeu, has become a very, very important player for Orlando Pirates. I think he's getting into that bracket of some of the best players we have in the Petro Premiership. I think he's become a very, very important player for Bafana Orlando Pirates. Muremi offers them something different. I think, for me, from a conditioning perspective, I think he looks sharp. You need to give Helmi Calcini a lot of credit, because not just only him. Umohankota came into last season and defeated like a glove into the Orlando Pirates team. You mentioned all the players. About Relem Fukeng, they didn't look out of place. Anyone that comes into Pirates as a winger, you can see that who understand the conditioning, periodization, training specifics.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of education that goes into how Orlando Pirates players, how they prepare the team. Because Umuremi, I said, remove away from the goal. In the game, when the game started, I said, the boy looks sharp. He looks really, really sharp, and he's always fast in everything that he's doing. In terms of the technical ability, one touch into the box, he creates different opportunities. It's either it's a 6-yard box cross, it's either it's a penalty box cross, it's either it's a D-line cross, or Nemtajela deeper into the box. Nemtajela, Mr. Nkeu, has got potential to be one of the most complete midfielders that we have. And in midfield, I've always said, for me, personally, I'm convinced otherwise, I will repeat this, a midfielder should be a complete player. The boy's got the ability. The only thing that I need him to improve is the ability of Dlalang weaker foot. I love players that have the ability of Dlalang weaker foot. If sometimes maybe it's a lack of Dlalang weaker foot, can you please master certain basic passes, like a 5-meter pass, 10-meter pass, taking a shot outside the box, playing that reverse pass near weaker foot. Those are the only things that he has to master. But in terms of range that he has, in terms of the depth, the capabilities that he has, in terms of work rate, the biggest credit and the best quality that the boy has is, I think, he work rate. I think he's got the right will to play the game as well, because sometimes you can have the ability, but the mentality, the personality, and the will to want to fight for each and every single thing. You wake up every day in the morning and you want to fight to be the best. And that's the attitude that I like from the boy, because you can see that he understands what it means to play for Orlando Pirates. Some of the best players, Mr. Nkeo, are not only just technical, but they've got this ability and this arrogance to believe that they are the best. When you watch Umfana, the body tells you, like, he looks like a football player even. And then for me, you have to give Tanzin, even though I felt like he needed to slow the game down. I feel that also the quality of a boy is not more of a 6. I needed to see maybe a 6 that can slow down the game, even if you play Mbule into that space, or Nemtajela into that space.
What I like about that kid is that he doesn't look out of place.
Yeah, for sure.
You can play for Pirates, you can play for Chiefs, and it can seem as if you are lost somewhere in Congo or in Egypt. You don't know, you don't understand the language. Sometimes when players are thrust into a big team, they put you there, you can be lost there. You cannot find yourself. That kid was always available for the ball. He was always driving with the ball. And I think the only thing that was short with him is that sometimes there's something that you don't have. You know, and then you can maybe compensate that with the will, the hunger, the desire to play. And I think that he does have those things. He's willing to run. I don't think that he's the fastest player, the quickest player, or has vision like other players, like about Nemtajela. But I think it doesn't look out of place, and that's a good thing. And maybe other players as well. With South African players, you get better after 100 games, after 200 matches. You get better as you master the position. But I like that he was not out of the place.
And another thing, Mr. Keo, I like the fact that Waruman, the type of midfielders that he uses at Pirates. Last season we used to speak about one thing at Pirates: lack of control, lack of game management. I think this season they are emphasizing Uklali midfield. What I like also about the Orlando Pirates is that they create the same opportunity. If we had a screen here, we would have an opportunity to show the people at home, to still show them how the same type of opportunity. Whether Mbutuma in the 6 box, whether Nemtajela in the D-line, whether Tito in the D-line, whether a little bit deeper, it's the same opportunity. But also what helps them is that overload on the right-hand side. In a man negatives, why? Because sometimes Ulibito, or in negative, the first negative is that the striker always has to make or peel off with the run that makes it to the right-hand side. And then Ulibito either has got 2 options. He has to whip it in the box or adlale a negative pass. Sometimes that variation can be more dangerous if they can have a right winger who also makes those runs that Umurema wayenza. But also, ama positives wakhona is that they always have 2 players in just behind the midfield of the opponent, which sometimes they've got those one-touch passes. The goal Tito creator comes from that situation where he's behind the midfield. He finds Umahopa an unbelievable touch in the box and he picks a spot. The Orlando Pirates players are creating the same opportunities. The finishes have been excellent. You can tell that Amanyama goal are training pitch goals. The coaches, the technical team at Orlando Pirates has done well in terms of the tactical evolution from the squad. Orlando Pirates looks exciting to watch. Every time Mang is expanding Orlando Pirates, I always feel excited because from how they control the game, from the opportunities that they create, how they manage the game. Yes, maybe in the Champions League 1 or 2 games, guna laba flope corner, but the season, in my opinion, have been exceptional. If you even remove the results away from the performances have been really, really good at Orlando Pirates. And some of the performances have been convincing.
There you go. Thank you so much, Lindo Pep. That's Orlando Pirates going to the semi-finals of the Carling knockout. Of course, the sponsors would be very happy with that they still have a big team there. It's a very unfortunate competition, because they're always overshadowed. This past weekend, they were overshadowed by CAF matches. Last season, they were overshadowed by the fact that there's not a lot of big teams. It was Sundowns, really, that was remaining until the final. And the winner as well is not a winner that even the sponsors want to try or write home or shout home about, because when you play the Carling All-Stars, you're going to play against a winner who's a small team, so they don't attract a crowd when you play that. So if Pirates goes all the way to the final, at least the sponsors will be relieved, because it's one of the biggest teams in Africa, Orlando Pirates, if they go all the way to the final. iDiski Times, was suspecting.
Shapunjan bafowethu ikamalamu Lindo Pep, the best analyst in the country. Please don't forget to subscribe to iDiski TV. Tanko.
This is Bongane Benedict Villagazi, they call me so. Niazi Bafetu, I'm a coach for life, they are back in winning ways. Please, I tell you to subscribe to iDiski TV.